All right. Okay. We're here.
Yes.
So before we get started, I just want to kind of talk about why I wanted you to be my guest of honor. I'm very
Okay.
grateful to have you here.
Thank
I'm very excited. I was strolling through YouTube looking for a very quick protective style. I do not know how to cornrow.
Yeah.
And I wanted something quick and easy, and I found you and your jumble twist. And I'm still trying to perfect it without the little rubber bands. But it was so easy, and you had it all laid out. I went to Amazon and ordered the exact hair you told me to order. I propped up that video and I put those twists in, and I loved it. And I just like your energy. I like your vibe. I like your style. It's like flower girl meets black Baltimore girl.
Yes.
I connected to that accent right away. I spent some time in Baltimore. I used to live around there for about 5 years.
Oh wow.
Um,
Yeah.
and then I found you on Instagram, and I love your page. I love the way you curate your page.
Thank you.
And I got really interested about this divine feminine energy that you were speaking about. So we started connecting, and
Yeah.
then it was like divine timing. You started offering products through Monet. I needed some skincare regimen.
Yeah.
And, we just really built the organic vibe. So as soon as I decided that this was something I wanted to do, you were in my mind of someone that I just wanted to connect with and really learn more about you. And I just wanted to start this beautiful series with you. So without further ado, I would love for you to introduce yourself. I want you to tell us first of all, your name, and then tell us what kind of space you take up here in the universe. What are your offerings? And we'll jump right into it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you know what? It's so crazy that you say that because a lot of people, like, I've been on YouTube for a long time, but a lot of people found me through this video. And it's something so crazy because I'm, natural hair. That's what I do.
Right.
But when I tried this style, this was kind of like, that was really my first time even trying it. I normally wear my hair out. I don't do, styles like this.
Right.
Around that time, I was trying faux locks and just getting creative. So I did this style, had no idea the video would blow up like that.
Okay.
And help so many people. And so, like, even now to this day, I still get people like sending me photos. Like, I tried the twist. It was so easy. Thank you. And I'm just like, blown away. So I really appreciate, the support. So my name is Kami, and I've been a creator, YouTuber for about 8 years. I started off having my blog first. And I just felt like I can reach a broader audience doing YouTube. But the funny thing is, I never intended it to be natural hair. So fashion is what I love. And that's what I started out with. So of Styled by Kami, like fashion, everybody, when they hear it, they think, hairstyle, but I'm like, no, I do not know how to do no kind of hair like that. I used to have my fashion blog going, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do outfit of the days and things like that. And one person commented and was like, can we see your hair routine? Because I used to wear my hair bone straight. Never had my hair curly when I first started out. And so I did that video and it went viral, and everybody was like, you have naturally curly hair, can you do curly hair videos? And I'm like, okay, let me type in twist out, let me type in braid out, because I had no idea.
Got it.
And so I really always tell everyone, YouTube is a true testament to why my hair is the way it is. That's
Me
just
too.
Something, it's not like I used to. I really tried. My wash and goes would look crazy. I thought all you had to do was put conditioner in there and that's it. But no, ma'am, not for my hair type.
Me neither.
I'm not one of those girls that can just, literally just go. It's a whole ordeal. So yeah, that's how that started.
Exactly.
I got into, the natural hair community shortly after launched my Instagram, and I'm always one of those people that's late to the party. So I got on Instagram years after it was popping, And that's when I really felt like I could connect back to my fashion roots and my photography and not have to do so much natural hair like YouTube kind of called for me to do.
Right.
So I really just love being on this platform because of that. And so, yeah, that's how we got here. At this point now, I feel like I'm at the point in my career where just creating content is not enough for me. I
Yeah.
really want to bring value and community. And so that's when I started getting into more talking about my spirituality, my life experiences, and trying to branch out away from just being a hair blogger, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at now.
Okay. So I love it. I want to get more into your spirituality.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I want to jump into my little thing is like one of my movies growing up was Brown Sugar, right? And I
Love it.
love her theme of when did you first fall in love with hip hop?
Yeah.
So that's really what I want to start with. I want you to tell us, when did you first fall in love with your hair?
Ooh, okay, so growing up, I had long hair growing up. My mom tried the whole perm thing, literally had to use like 2 boxes, and it still never got my hair straight. It would make it a little wavy.
Got it.
And so 8th grade, which was 2003, 2004 for me, way before I knew anything about natural hair movement, big chops, all of this, going into high school, I was like, I want to kind of cut off all of that and go natural. I didn't know that's what I was doing, but that's what I was doing. And so I came to school with a short bob and let my hair grow out. And so I will say that's kind of when it started for me. Just seeing my natural curls come back when I would wash it, and like just fall in love with that texture. And that's when I started doing like flexi rod sets. Like in high school, I was doing flexi rods and perm rods because I wanted it curly. I didn't want it straight. And I remember too, my ex at the time, when I really started to go natural, like after high school and everything, when he met me, it used to be straight. And he was like, well, aren't you going to like wear your hair down like you used to? I'm like, what is down? Like, what does that mean? And because I was really wearing it curly. So I will say for me, I probably really fell in love with it around like 2008. 2008, something in me, and I don't know if it was just YouTube, you know, around that time, the community was really big. And that's when everybody started watching YouTube for, you know, beauty videos and things. And so I was like, you know what? I want to wear my hair curly. And shortly after, I started my channel, and then everybody else encouraging me to do natural hair stuff. And that was it for me. So, yeah.
So, okay, so you said you first started in 8th grade. I feel like that's like, you're lucky, because I think a lot of us are just kind of embracing it and getting into it. Who helped you kind of embrace that? Who helped you learn how to take care of your hair at such a young age?
You know what? And like I said too, I didn't know that that's what I was doing. I've always been into, you know, fashion and hair and things like that. I guess seeing my mom, she is one of my biggest inspirations. She used to have her hair in all these cool different styles, and I mean, wore heels, never wore flats, like heels with every outfit, driving heels, like that was my mom. And so she used to have her hair curly a lot. And so I don't know if I just really loved when she had her hair like that. And I would literally stare at her and admire her getting ready and stuff like that. And so I remember too, I would look at old pictures of myself and see how long and curly my hair was. And I was just like, my hair doesn't look like this anymore.
Right.
And so, you know, going into high school, it's a fresh start. So I'm like, I'm like, Ma, let me cut my hair. Let me cut all of that dead, you know, damaged parts off and start off fresh. So I've been perm free since 2004.
Nice. So I feel like you have like a very free spirit. Like you kind of walk to your own beat of your own drum. Where does that come from?
That is a long time coming. That is not, you know, somebody I've been. I think it's been somebody that I've been. I just didn't know. And of course, you know, life circumstances, they change you. When things happen to you, it takes you away from who you truly are. And especially when you're younger, you don't really know you don't know how to separate those experiences from who you are. You start to
Yeah.
take on those experiences as though that is who you are now. And that's not true. And so I've had to really learn to disassociate myself from the things that happen to me and who I really am. And that takes a lot of time. It's not something, some people, they know who they are from the start. And that's
Yeah.
something that I've always admired. But I didn't realize that I didn't have to admire it from other people because it was already within me at the same time. I want to say my relationship, I was in a almost 10-year relationship at a very young age. And so that taught me a lot. And once that ended, I started to kind of reflect and get back to who I was. And so that kind of like sparked this free spirit, you know, that everybody sees now, and
Yeah.
inspires so many people, not knowing that this was a journey for me to even
Yeah.
be here.
So that's awesome. How does that tie into this, your spirituality? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, you know, like as growing up, I've been around a lot of different religions. So, you know, my dad was Christian, my mom was Hebrew. And so living with my mom, but I would, you know, go and visit my dad on the weekends. I got to experience both, you know, religions.
Yeah.
And I kind of, you know, growing up, I really resonated more with being Hebrew. So I was that for a long time. But for some reason, I just really felt like my own relationship was way more than just a religion or just, you know, something on paper. So I
Mm-hmm.
really started to dive into that more, and I've always been very intuitive. I'm a really big dreamer, so I'm a lucid dreamer. And that's something that's always intrigued me about how I have dreams or visions or whatever the case may be. And so I really started doing my own research and just diving into, you know, more spirituality and not being attached to any specific religion.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where I am now, whereas I really believe in manifestation and the universe and, you know, a higher power, if you will, but not so specific on religion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. So like I said, I first got connected to you because of your hair, but
Yeah.
then started taking a look at your other videos, and I love the content. I mean, she's teaching us how to be flirty. She's teaching us how to be more sensual. She's
Yeah.
really teaching us how to, you know, embrace this feminine energy.
Yeah.
What drew me to it so much is, you know, I'm married, I have 3 children, but I grew up with like these really strong women, and
Mm-hmm.
I have like this kind of like strong black girl syndrome, right? And I sometimes find it difficult for me to allow my husband to kind of do things that's nice. And I mean, we've been together for a long time, and it goes all the way back where it's just like, let me help you, you
Yeah.
know? And then it's like I confuse him because 1 minute I'm like, I got it. And the
Yeah.
next minute I'm like, but can you take the trash out?
Right.
And
Right.
he's like, which one do you want?
Yeah.
But what I loved about your videos is that it wasn't really about a woman or a man thing, but it was really about just the energy that you're called to, you know? And I think when I can remove the man and woman thing from it, I can
Yeah.
embrace it a little bit better. Because that is what's so difficult for me. But I also realized, you know, in my own therapy that I think that I've been insecure in being sensual
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
being sexy or flirty. And so I'm learning some things from you.
Thank you. And you know what, that you said that, because I feel like that's one of the reasons why I'm able to share that now, because I came from a place where I was really like afraid to show that side of myself. Even though I knew that that's something I possessed, I was never the type to wear, you know, certain type of clothes or this or that. I was always really self-conscious because for me, I knew that energy radiated even if I had on a full, you know, hoodie and pants. So
Right.
it was like, I definitely can't, you know, have my, you know, cleavage out or a short skirt or things like that. And it made me uncomfortable. So I really had to dive into really knowing who I am and understanding the difference between that masculine and feminine energy, because you can possess both of them. It doesn't have anything to
Right.
do with your gender. It is all about energy and vibration. And one of the biggest things with bringing that feminine energy to the forefront is being able to receive, which I feel like a lot of women have a hard time doing. A lot of women have a hard time receiving compliments. You know, you'll tell somebody she's beautiful and she'll automatically either compliment you back or turn it down like, no, I'm all right, or
Right.
I'm not all that. And it's like,
Yep.
just receive it, take it and receive it, you know?
No, for sure.
So that's something that I feel like, I saw some videos going around about that, and I was like, I don't know how to tie this in because it's so different from the content that I used to make, and I don't want to now seem like I'm just deviating from what I'm known for. But at the same time, if you've been following me, then it should be a journey. It should be an evolution in my content. I still shouldn't be doing wash and goes 10, 15 years after being on
Right.
YouTube. Like, you
Right.
should want to see me grow as a woman. You know,
Absolutely.
I started when I was like 20 something. I'm 30 now. So my conversation should be different.
That's
And
right.
when I started getting good feedback on the quality of content, I was just like, okay, now I can really show who I am. Now I
Yeah.
can really talk about things that I talk about with my friends and family,
Mm-hmm.
because I consider my YouTube, you know, my family.
Yeah.
You guys have been a part of a lot of my life. And so I'm really excited. And it's so funny you mentioned that because my next video is going to be how to balance masculine and feminine energy, you know, as a woman. Because I think it is a balance. It doesn't mean you have to completely not have any, you know, masculine energy, but it is a balance. So that's what's coming up next.
I'm excited for that. So tell me, how do you know, because you say you didn't want it to be so different from your content. And for me, I feel like it flows together. So how does your hair play a part in your feminine energy and embracing that?
You know what's so funny? These twists actually, like, I don't know what happened. When
Mm-hmm.
I started putting these twists in my hair, it was just like a whole nother vibe. Like,
Uh-huh.
just for real. Like, my curls, it gives me something different, and these twists just give me something more. And so I don't know if you noticed, but like, once I started putting in the twist, my fashion kind of choices a little changed a little bit. My style of content on my Instagram changed up a little bit. I don't know what sparked that. I think it all just flowed together,
Yes.
without me even knowing that that's what was coming. Um, and then, you know, I realized too, within making that certain kind of content, it's not only about the exterior only,
Yeah.
because you see a lot of videos about being feminine and it's like, oh, do your hair, do your nails, wear pretty dresses, and it's like, that's not what it really means. That's not the meat of it, but it does tie in. So if you start there, it will unlock something with the inside, and that's when you'll start to be able to really dive in. So I think that's what kind of happened with me.
I love that you say that because I think so often we want to say, you know, I am not my hair, but we
Right.
know that hair means a lot to us, right? You feel
Absolutely.
good. Like you say, depending on your hairstyle, you might be a whole nother person, you know? And
Right.
it
Right.
changes the vibe. And that's really what I want this interview series to be all about. You know, I think that we're all in different journeys in our life,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to hair care as a Black woman, right? We're
Yeah.
just really embracing it and understanding how to take care of it, and that it's multifaceted just like us, right? And
Yeah.
so I love the fact that you can switch into your twist and you can switch into your curls, and I think it's important to show that journey and show it with other women because you don't know, there's so many women I reach out to interview and they're like, girl, I'm not in love with my hair, or they're like, some days I love it and some days I don't, but that's real
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important because as much as we say we're not our hair, we are. And we want to feel
Absolutely.
beautiful. We want to look beautiful. And like you said, I feel like you get that down and then it just starts to trickle down. And
Yeah, it unlocks so much more. And I tell people this all the time too, because I was somebody who was very one way when it came to my hair for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Once I mastered my wash and goes, that's literally like, I haven't straightened my hair in probably 5-6 years. So I don't even know what I look like with straight hair right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But just doing something so minor like that, changing up from that same hairstyle that you've probably been wearing for I don't know how long, you're going to see yourself different.
Right.
You're going to start to notice certain features that maybe you didn't notice before. And if you're really paying attention to the details, which I don't feel like a lot of people slow down and pay attention, we're always on go, go, go.
Right.
And so doing something so minor like that can unlock something in you that makes you open your eyes a little bit.
So tell me, how do you approach wash day? Wash day. I know that you're really into meditation and just setting the. So when you look at wash day, you know, some of us look at it as a scary day.
Yeah.
How do you wash day?
You know what? I used to. But now I look at it like it's a whole thing for me. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
even mind how long it takes. Sometimes now too, I try to be aware because I don't want the water to get cold, because that's when you know it's been a long time. But I like to detangle in sections, so
Yeah.
sometimes I turn the water off just so it don't run out on me. But
Yes.
I actually look at it as, you know, like your Sunday, you know, cleaning day. You know how people, they do all this stuff on Sunday, they wash their sheets, they do their whole house, they reset for the week. And that's kind of how I look at it now, and especially now because I'm being more cognizant of what I'm putting on my hair. I'm
Right.
looking forward to seeing those small changes, you know, in my texture, or how much now my hair is able to receive moisture. I was somebody who never looked at the back of the bottle for what product, what ingredients was in there. That's just
Mm-hmm.
something I didn't see valuable.
Yeah.
But just how you would be aware of what you're eating, you should be aware of what you're putting on your hair, on your skin, all of that. So now I'm excited because I love to see, you know, how my hair is evolving and how long it's getting and how healthy it is. So I enjoy it.
Okay. How long does it take?
Whew, my hair take anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours, depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If I'm just doing just washing it and then just twisting it up, then probably like 2 hours.
Okay.
But if I'm doing a full wash and go, if I'm filming, if I mean deep conditioning, that's like a whole day. So now I pull out the face mask and just chill.
Just so set the music and get the vibe, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So what would your advice be for anyone that is transitioning or doing a big chop? What would you say?
I would first say definitely pay attention to your products for sure. If you're going to take that step to get rid of the dead ends or to start over, then give your hair the full love that it needs. Don't continue to put on those toxic products. So definitely just be more aware and more present about what you're giving to your hair. Also, it's a journey. So enjoy every moment of it. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't hair, you know, compare, because I know a lot of us do that. For
That
a
was
while, I had to understand that my hair is not one curl pattern. I have like 3 different curl patterns. The front of my hair is high porosity. The back is low porosity. So I would get upset when I would see certain girls that wet their hair and it just gets flat, or it's all
Mhm.
one uniform curl, and mine's not like that. I had to learn how to maneuver. So enjoy the journey, enjoy
Right.
each, you know, time you get with how your hair looks, and just know it's an extension of you. So it's nothing wrong with it, because you're perfectly made the way you are. So
Right. Now, what is it for those who don't know? High porosity, low porosity. What is that?
Mhm. So low porosity is when your hair just is like no to moisture, like rejecting it, like don't want no water to get in, don't want no products to get in. If you wash your hair and it does not automatically absorb that water quickly, if you wash it and you can see the water beads like on it, most
Mm-hmm.
likely you have low porosity hair.
Yeah.
So natural hair already is a little harder for moisture to get in because our cuticles are different from straight hair.
Right.
So now with low porosity, it's even harder. So you need to definitely be steaming more, using warmer water to open up that cuticle to allow the moisture to get in. Now, if on the other end, if you have high porosity, that means that moisture just comes in quickly, but it doesn't stay. So that means your hair could be weighed down by heavy products because it's absorbing it quick, but then it will get dry and frizzy. And too much moisture will make it limp, whereas though with high porosity, with low porosity, too much protein will make it like brittle. So you have to find that balance.
And so what would you say to someone who, you know, like both of us, we went to YouTube and found out how to take care of our hair, but you got to be careful with that too, right? Because sometimes you mention hair envy. And I think I read somewhere where a lot of women will follow women who have hair completely different from theirs.
Yeah.
So what kind of advice would you give to someone going to YouTube trying to figure out how to take care of their hair?
The first thing I would say is definitely don't pay attention to curl patterns. Um, because just because somebody's curl pattern might be the same as yours does not mean that that routine is going to work. I hear so many people saying, oh, we're hair twins. Our curls are the same, but my density could be different from yours. I could have low porosity. Like you can have high porosity. So just because you might have 3C curls does not mean that that routine is going to work. So you need to definitely be searching more for hair videos that cater to your specific hair, not the way it's curled. So if you have low porosity, you need to be searching videos for that. You'll see a bunch of different curl patterns, but they'll all be low porosity. So essentially the routine is going to work because that is what you need to know what routine works for you. Also with your density, with things like that. So I would say, you know, just be more aware of what you're looking at. You can, like I said, you can follow somebody whose curls are different or the same, but just make sure that everything is kind of in line with what you need for your hair type. And if you do that, you'll be good to go. Because I know people that'll say, you know, well, we have the same curls and I tried the product, but it didn't work for me. And I'm like, well, what's your density? What's your porosity? Like, you know, is that all the same? Because if not, then you still not learning anything.
Exactly.
You have to take everything with a grain of salt. Like we YouTubers are regular people that just decide to put a camera on and film.
Right.
The difference between you and I is that I have more people looking at me. That's that's it. I'm not an expert. Half of YouTubers are not experts unless they are actual doctors and whatever, and they just got YouTube channels. But we just regular people that's like, girl, this worked for me, so I don't know, it could probably work for you too.
So it's funny you say that too, because I feel like, and you probably gotten this before too, women have said to me, well, girl, if I had hair like you, I would go natural.
Yeah.
So what do you say to women who have maybe a kinkier texture or a more coarse texture?
Yeah, and I want to say, somebody said the density, so that's like how thick or like how many strands you have. So like my hair is like medium density.
Mine's fine, honey.
Yeah, so yours is not as dense as mine. So a product that I might like because it's really thick might be way too heavy for her. Even though her curl pattern might be, so are you in the 4s or are you in the 3s?
You know what? I hate that ranking, but I think I would be like in the 3s.
Right. So we're both 3s, but because of our density, then our hair looks different. So my hair is going to look fuller. It's going to be a lot more dense than hers. And so that's what your density is, how many hair strands you actually have. Now, my hair strands itself are really fine, but because I have a lot of it, that's what makes my hair look full. So my hair is not thick, it's full. That's the difference. So what I would say to girls with coarser, kinkier texture is like rock that. Like, do you know how many times I wish I could do a puff or something like that? Mine is not dense enough, so it just flops.
Right.
Like, you know, that I love that. I love that look. And I think it's beautiful. So just find, like I said, the routine that works for you. Make sure you deep conditioning. That's for everybody because it's just important for hair health. And own it. You know what I'm saying? Rock it. It's your hair and it's an extension of you. So it doesn't need to look like anybody else's.
Yes. I think that's the biggest thing is that we have to normalize black hair, right? We
Yeah.
have to be okay with it not being slicked down sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
What so what products do you have in your cabinet? What are your fave go-to right now?
So, I mean, shamelessly plugging, of course, Monet.
Go for it.
I gotta throw that out there.
That's
You gotta try vegan at least once. Um, but no, honestly, like I've been using it now for a little minute, and when I tell you now, like the moisture retention of my hair, I don't know what's going on, but it is
Mhm.
changing. Okay, like when that water hits my hair, I'm like, oh, do I have high porosity now? Like it's all silky.
Yes.
So so I love that. But before using Monet for shampoo and conditioner, I would really use anything, but Tresemme was something that I felt like was thick enough and gave me a lot of slip to detangle. For styling, Miss Jessie's Honey Curls.
Oh my gosh, I love
Like
it.
one product wash and go. Like I didn't have to use no gel. I didn't have to use nothing. It was
My
just like put it
pillow
on.
soft curls.
Oh yeah, I tried the Pillow Soft Curls too. Loved that. Camille Rose, loved it. Um, it's funny because I hear a lot of people say they have good results with Mayel, but I just never had really good results with Mayel Organics. Um, what else? Jane Carter Curls to Go.
Yes.
Absolutely love that.
Mhm.
So, as far as like washing my hair and everything, I do use Monet, but I still, dibble and dabble and, using products like that, especially if the ingredients are good. I don't mind using it. My go-to when I first started was Cantu and Eco Styler.
Oh
That
yeah.
used to give me bomb results. It don't work no more on my hair for some reason, but oh my God.
You know what? I never really got into Cantu. I tried the Eco Styler, but for me, because my hair is so fine, I tried
Hmm.
that with the wash and go. It was so flat.
Yeah.
That you have to really try it out. I'm sure like we start off in the going natural and we're product junkies. You
Yeah.
got 35 different products.
Yeah.
What would you say is a major key to being natural and having healthy hair?
Um, you know what? Weekly deep conditioning and sitting under the dryer with it. So with heat as well. You've had a steamer or dryer or whatever. I feel like that is the key. When I started doing my deep conditioning, I noticed my curls being able to just pop without any product. And so the true testament is how your hair looks without product, right? Because with product on it, of course, it's going to tame that frizz. It's going to, define the curls a little bit more. But you really need to see how healthy it is without anything on it. So don't skip your deep conditioners, no matter what you're using.
Okay. Now I want to kind of get into some Q&As, but before we do that, I want to kind of talk a little bit more about you. What do you have coming up? What are you working on? What kind of offerings do you have for us? And then I want to get into just a little thoughtful question.
Okay. So what I have coming up, I am in the process now of just building my own community within my needs. So just opening up that space for Black men and women because I don't feel like it's enough of us in that space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I
Talk
definitely
a
feel
little
like
about what is Monet?
so Monet is a vegan company that has hair products, skincare, and now wellness products. So they're really about non-toxic, anti-aging products. They also work with dermatologists, so it's clinically proven to repair your skin and hair and your overall health. And so um, I joined the company in July and I used it first for my skin because I have hormonal acne. And so, like, nothing was working for me. So I was like, okay, let me at least maybe try a more natural route.
Yeah.
And it seemed to work. And so once I saw the results, I was like, this is something I can stand behind. And now within being in the company, I'm like, you know, this is a amazing opportunity to not only have a vehicle to bring you to maybe your own personal goals and in business endeavors, but also just to change your perspective on the work world in general, especially the climate we're in right now. We're being shown how disposable we are to these corporations. And
Yes.
so to have something of your own and consistent income coming in, and being your own boss, I'm all for that. So I'm in the process of just sharing that opportunity with anybody who wants to be a part of that,
Mm-hmm.
and especially within our own community, because I feel like we don't really share those nuggets like that. It's only a small group of people that kind of see success, and it's not really shared amongst our peers. And it's like, why not? You know, there's enough room for everybody to eat. So
Right.
if I know something, I'm gonna tell the next person. So like, come on, let's do this together. You know.
Yes. I
So
much about you because even when I look at your page, you'll take a really dope shot and you'll explain how you got the lighting like that or how you got the picture. And I love that. I love that you share all of your knowledge.
yeah, like, you know, it's not just for me. It's now for anybody else who wants to get into that space. Now I can show you, okay, this is what I did to get there. Let me help you. And not like, oh, you figure it out on your own. I'll see you up there. Like,
I
no, like, you know, like, come on, let me show you how to do it. Maybe I can learn from you and we can do this thing together. So I'm all about that. And I wish that there was more of that. So if I have to be the start of it, that's fine with me. Also, you know, I'm also doing this business to invest in my own business that I want to launch as well. Like I said, fashion is my passion, so I want to have my own capsule collection and jewelry collection, and so this is helping me fund that. Um, Yellow T-shirt gang is something really big on my YouTube channel, so I'm going to be coming out with yellow turbans next
yes.
month.
Okay.
So, you know, nice towels that's good for your hair, with, you know, the yellow T-shirt stamp on it. So that'll be coming out.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much where I'm going right now. Hopefully, before quarantine and all of that, I was trying to start doing events. And I did a few, but now that that's kind of, you know, not something we can do, but maybe once we get the clear on that, then I'll bring back, you know, my events and have, you know, talks and have people on the panel and just networking events. So that'll be in the near future.
I love it. You are a give back queen, honey.
Thank you. Thank
I
you. You
love
have to be, man. Like we got to stick together, you know?
absolutely. So I want to ask you, I think we always hear in our times, you know, what would you tell your younger self? And I think that's an important question to ask because it helps with any kind of healing that you
Oh
may,
yeah.
you know, need to experience because of childhood trauma. So I want to ask that, but I also, I think it was on SZA's most recent song. She talked about how the present is the youngest you'll ever be. And for me, that was like really profound because we're always thinking about, man, if I was younger or if I would have known then what I know now. But I want to kind of also live in the moment and the present and think about 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. What do you think that person would want your youngest self to be? Because this is the youngest we'll ever be for the rest of our life right now.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me, what would you tell your younger self? Doesn't have to be about hair.
Hmm.
And then what do you think you really want to capture now as your youngest self?
What I would tell my younger self, two things. Uh, Forgive yourself. Like, don't be, you know, so hard on yourself and striving for, you know, perfection. But I would also tell myself to be more present. I feel like I was always either in the future or in the past. And I didn't allow myself to really see the beauty in the moments that were there. And so I would definitely tell myself to just be more present,
Yes.
enjoy where you are, learn from where you are, and forgive yourself. Like,
I
it's
love it.
okay.
I love it. You even mentioned that about hair earlier. Like, we need to enjoy every moment. You know, when it's the
Yeah.
teeny afro, when it's that awkward length, just
Yeah.
take your time and enjoy the process.
Yeah,
And
for
so,
sure.
what do you think you want to make sure you capture now as your youngest self?
Um, Always live authentically. Like, that's just something that now I am realizing in the present, that it's allowing me to connect more with my higher self, where I'm going.
Yeah.
Just being authentic to who I am. Who I am is enough. And I need to stand firm and be authentic and transparent. And so I think that is what I want to make sure I capture, and always hone in on that, so that I know, looking back, that I was always true to who I am and what I stood for.
I love that. I think that's important. And I want to tell you, if nobody has told you that, that's what you give me. You give me authentic, you give me genuine, you give me someone that is down to connect and down for the community. And I think it's important because I think a lot of times we live a life of being who we think other people think we are, and we're
Yeah.
never who we want to be. And you give me who you want to be. So I thank you for that. I'm
Thank you.
grateful that you took this time to interview with me today. I'm really
Yes.
excited about it. And about, you know, the interviews moving forward. I just want to do a shameless plug and say, any person watching, if you are a mother or a father and you have daughters, you definitely want to tune in to next Monday. But I want to give a little bit of time for Q&As if anyone has any questions right now before we wrap up. So let's
Yeah.
just,
This was amazing. And I want to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come on and,
absolutely.
just share. So I thank you. I thank you a lot.
Absolutely. All right, so let's take a look. Let's see if anybody has anything, any questions.
Yeah, you did amazing. Like, you
Thank
really
you.
did.
Thank you. I'm excited. I
We
love
got
it.
all these hearts in the building.
Thank you. And please like and share and make sure folks tune in next week.
I'm gonna definitely be tuning in next week, showing my support, and just I would love to see, where this goes and all the conversations you have. So I will definitely be tuning in.
Well, you know what? I look at it like this. You kind of said something. We have a lot in common. And I have been trying to do a YouTube channel about hair for years. And I'll start and I'll stop. And I was never consistent. But as I'm getting into this, and I've been reaching out to different women and men. So anyone who's interested, this is not just for YouTubers or folks with a huge following. I'll be interviewing friends and family because it's really about creating a safe space for Black hair, for
Yeah,
Black excellence, just for us to really be able to share nuggets, like you said. And I really feel like this is kind of like a calling for my higher self. Like, I think it was more than just, getting on camera and talking about what I do with my hair. I
yeah,
want to be able to feature and create a platform for other people. I also want to be able to show all different kinds of hair types. I don't want to do a video and folks are like, okay, but you can't tell me anything. But I
yeah,
can bring you somebody that can, and I want to be that connector. So I'm really excited about what's going to happen with this. We'll see, you know and we'll keep it going. But I thank you so much. We are going to stay connected and we're going to stay rooting for each other.
yes.
Y'all go follow her. Go check out her videos. Go check out her products. She will get you all the way together. Like I said, she is a holistic, divine goddess. And I am so grateful
Yeah.
for the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. And have a good night, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye.